Howdy, howdy. With this episode, the intro officially changes to Go by Flow. Now, I've listened to a few of the English covers of the song, and my favorite was produced by a channel called Give Heart Records. The opening has some teasers as per usual, so I'll go over a few of those. But first, have a listen to the opening lyrics. We are fighting dreamers. I used to think the title of the song was Dreamers because that seemed to be the central theme of the song. However, a simple YouTube search led me to discover the title is actually Go, which made a little less sense before I listened to an English cover. After listening to some English covers, I gathered that the core message of the song is to choose the path that will lead you to surpassing your limits. While doing so, encourage others to join you on that endeavor, or go your way, if you will. That's why the lyrics are, we are fighting dreamers, not I'm a fighting dreamer. Now, to dig into the teasers, the opening starts with our beloved Konoha residents in cheerful moods, when suddenly a shadow figure arises and slashes the screen. Keep that silhouette in mind. The Shadow Man's sword is used to display the title of the anime, followed by some black flames that seem to only be black because the edge of the screen is black, which allows for a cool transition into Itachi opening his eyes. There's some more goofiness displayed, followed by what I think is the first official gathering of the Konoha 12. It's worth noting that only Team 7 is standing together. Every other team is separated. In case you forgot their names, the Konoha 12 consists of Naruto, Sakura, Sasuke, Shikamaru, Choji, Kiba, Hinata, Rock Lee, Ino, Tenten, Shino, and Neji. To carry on with the intro, there's a cool panning thing it does where it pans away to some characters in the foreground with other silhouettes of characters in the background, followed by panning back to the Konoha 12. It's pretty damn cool, so I'm gonna play a little bit of it. I recommend watching the full opening though. Go is certainly one of the more hype intros in my opinion, solely because of the Fighting Dreamers portions. Anyway, while analyzing the first cutaway, I was only able to make out Sasuke. I guess I could be wrong, but I'm 99% sure Sasuke is chasing two mystery beings in a combat scenario. It being a combat scenario has nothing to do with Sasuke and Sakura holding shuriken. My speculation derives from one of the silhouettes holding a kunai. The second silhouette combo appears to be a different duo due to the individual with the kunai having long hair with a bow in it. If you guys have an idea who that is, drop a comment and let me know. Before I move on, the three jonin are Kurenai, Might Guy, obviously, and Asuma. The final silhouette duo is pretty obvious. It's Orochimaru and Kabuto. Except, wait, there's a third. But who could it be? There also appears to be a fourth, but the camera cuts away. Shortly after, two cloaked individuals are shown for the first time alongside Sasuke charging his Chidori. Given that, and one of the mystery men toting the same sword as the mystery guy from earlier, we can conclude those two are up to no good. We then see Naruto smiling while holding a balloon, a slot machine, a lady, and a person holding a pig with a pearl necklace, and a mischievous Kabuto in the foreground with a determined Naruto in the background. We're then shown Jiraiya and Orochimaru on their respective summons, Naruto in between a triangle of silhouettes of Jiraiya, Orochimaru, and the mystery lady from earlier. The color choice at a first glance was very interesting to me. You see, I've always thought of the color red as evil or aggression, which is a very surface level analysis. I think in some contexts I would be right, but ain't no way Jiraiya being red is supposed to symbolize that. Since my original analysis was clearly wrong, I decided to dive deeper into color associations. Before I dive in, I recognize that colors could have been chosen randomly, but for analysis' sake, let's pretend they weren't. Going from left to right, Jiraiya's red symbolizes his passion, love, and energy. Even though we haven't seen much from Jiraiya thus far, he's been a rather goofy individual in a lot of the scenes we've seen him in, and he's certainly displayed desire. We'll just leave it at that. Next is Orochimaru, which leads us to purple. Upon examining the list, the power and ambition are perfect attributes to allocate to Orochimaru. Other attributes to consider are wisdom, knowledge, calmness, and creativity. Some debate can be had on whether or not wisdom and creativity can be attributed to him, but honestly, mastering every jitsu does require wisdom. A part of Orochimaru's goals is to discover new jitsu as well, which means he'll also need to be creative. Considering Orochimaru created the Curse Mark Jutsu, I'd argue he's already met the prerequisites for those traits. Finally, we have the Mystery Woman. If you haven't seen Naruto, you don't know anything about her other than what I pointed out earlier. With that said, there isn't too much to say about her as of now. However, I will still highlight her defining traits for you to keep in mind for future videos. I'll work my way up the list this time. The first defining attribute is money. As we saw earlier, she was introduced with a slot machine and a pig wearing a pearl necklace. Health and healing, hope and optimism, vitality and growth, and renewal are also good descriptors of her character and her role in the story. That's all I wanted to say about the intro, so let's hop into the episode. This is episode 78.
Naruto's Ninja Handbook!
The episode begins with Naruto rising to his feet, while Gaara continues to taunt him. Naruto realizes it's now or never, so he locks in. With his explosive kunai in hand, he says this:
I don't really know how much damage I can do, but it doesn't matter. I just have to give it my best shot.
Which, if you remember from my analysis of episode 76, sounds strangely reminiscent of Jiru from Elaseed. I know I mentioned last episode that Naruto had finally come full circle and caught up to Sakura in terms of courage, but Naruto saying that line is a cherry on top. I low-key didn't even remember he was going to say that when I wrote the other line, so you love to see it. What makes this attempt different from the others is the hype music Naruto gets.
Shadow Clone Jutsu!
Strong in Strike gets a certified banger. I don't remember how often it's used in Naruto, but whenever you hear it, you know you're about to get some action. Alternatively, if you've seen King Vader's video,
Sasuke!
jokes aside, Naruto wastes no time. He swanton bombs in and tells Gaara it's about that time. Gaara remains unfazed. In fact, he gives off a devilish smirk. I see where Conquest got it from. Gaara says nope and reaches out to grab Naruto and his clones. Unfortunately for Gaara, Naruto is cooking. He perfectly positions his clones to get grabbed before he does, so he could then use himself as a platform to yeet himself towards Gaara. Before Naruto reaches Gaara, he summons another shadow clone and leaves it behind to get pummeled. By the way Naruto is moving, you'd swear he has a Sharingan. Anyway, Naruto summons one last shadow clone and uses it as a platform to leap up behind Gaara and jab him with the kunai.
Straight from the teachings of Kakashi-sensei! 1,000 years of death!
Now, I know what you're thinking. What in tarnation was that? In which I completely agree. Or at least I did. Until this happened.
Boom!
Boom, baby! Blew up his keister like grandma's gumbo. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody was clowning Naruto. Tamari, Pakun, Gamakichi, and yes, you too. I saw you. But that's okay, because our boy Naruto is aura farming. He didn't even try to catch himself, so he could dramatically fly backwards and deliver his one-liner. 1 HP Sasuke had to muster the last of his chakra just to cushion Naruto's impact. After realizing Sasuke broke his fall, Naruto asks this.
Hey, you okay?
It's a short scene, and overall, it doesn't add much to the narrative, but it does serve to bolster the perception of Naruto and Sasuke's relationship. Studio Pierrot could have easily shown Naruto fly into Sasuke, then immediately cut away to Gaara. That would have shown the viewer what happened to Naruto after he got knocked away, which means there wouldn't be any loose ends. Studio Pierrot going out of their way to ensure that Naruto remains in character is W writing. The manga only has Naruto say, Sasuke! which doesn't show nearly as much compassion. After the explosion, the smoke clears to reveal Gaara sustained heavy damage. Gaara also notes,
He attacked at the base of the tail, where the defense is weakest. He didn't wound me, but the sand couldn't absorb the impact.
which may not seem like much, but if you peer in a little deeper than surface level, you'll come to realize it's actually a combat knowledge feat for Naruto. I mean, sure, there's no need to hyperglaze Naruto for his strategy, but he could have sucked that kunai just about anywhere else given the opening he had. Instead, he went for Gaara's most vulnerable point. You might be thinking, but Owen, why didn't Naruto just jam the kunai into Gaara's foot? He could have blown his leg off. And to that I say, because plot. I'm just kidding. Blowing Gaara's leg off wouldn't have had the same success rate to incapacitate Gaara as potentially blowing up Gaara's whole body. Granted, the explosive seal could have blown up one of Gaara's legs and heavily damaged the other, which, now that I think about it, I must admit, from Naruto's perspective, that should have been the highest damage dealing play. Without spoiling too much though, Naruto blowing off Gaara's legs wouldn't be good for the plot, and it wouldn't have incapacitated Gaara like you may think it would. You'll see in a bit.
All of that work, and you only scored one blow?
Put a sock in it!
It's amazing that Naruto and Sasuke can still banter as if they aren't in a life or death scenario. In ordinary circumstances, I'd point out how the characters should be more locked in. However, Naruto and Sasuke's behavior is completely in character. The manga's depiction actually makes a reference to the Land of Waves arc while portraying Sasuke in a slightly better light. While it is perfectly in character for Sasuke to flame Naruto like he did in the anime, manga Sasuke saying, "Heh, you're finally showing your stuff. But after all that, just one blow? You gotta try harder. 'Cause this time, I can't help you like I did in the Land of Waves. Idiot." Makes Sasuke out to be way more pragmatic and focused, while also giving Naruto his props for landing a more devastating blow than he did. Please leave a like on the video if you made it this far. I'm going to be producing these videos on my own again for the foreseeable future, and now that it's summer, I shouldn't have a problem being consistent. I won't have to wait around for anyone, and I plan on splitting the videos up into 2 videos at the very minimum if they're around 30 minutes or longer. That will certainly help me with getting these videos out on a more weekly basis, since I will be releasing part 1 then part 2. For those of you that have been here for a while, thank you for returning after my very inconsistent upload schedule. I believe the time is now though, so I'm kicking it into high gear. I know I said I'd be consistent several times before, but this time is different. Trust, I will become Hokage someday. So be on the lookout for part 2 in a week from now. Deuces.